My best friend slept with my fiancée a night before our wedding. The painful part is that he was actually our wedding planner and thought there was no way I was going to find out. So I took them on, and what happened will surprise you. Hello. Thank you for your continuous support. This means a lot to us. If you enjoy the stories we share, kindly subscribe to this channel to help us reach our first 1,000 subscribers. It would be great if you can also comment on which city you are watching from. We might just give you a shout-out in our next story. Today's special shout-out goes to Iris from Gresham, Oregon. We are glad you enjoy our stories. Now let's dive into the details of today's story. Picture this: a sleepy little truck stop off Route 17, the kind with flickering neon signs and gravel that crunches under your boots. It's 1:30 a.m., the air thick with the smell of diesel and burnt coffee, and there's Alex, our guy, hunched over a laptop in the cab of his pickup. His fingers hover over the keys, trembling just enough to betray the storm inside him. It's 1:30 a.m., he types, his voice echoing in your head like a late-night confession. And I just found out my fiancée slept with my best friend, the guy planning our wedding last night. Nate's been my wingman since high school, the one who swore he'd make this day unforgettable. I'm not screaming. I'm not smashing anything. I'm here, typing this, about to turn their world upside down. Now, let's rewind a few hours, because this isn't where the story starts, it's where it breaks. Earlier that evening, the rehearsal dinner was in full swing at the old Pinewood Barn, a rustic gym in their small town of Willow Creek. The place was strung up with fairy lights, the kind that twinkle like stars against weathered wood. Laughter bounced off the rafters as Alex's mom toasted to love everlasting, her glass of cheap Chardonnay catching the glow. Tara, Alex's bride-to-be, sat beside him. Radiant in a cream sweater, her auburn hair spilling over her shoulders. She was the girl he'd chased since senior year, the one who doodled his name in her biology notebook while he fumbled through pickup lines. And Nate? Nate was there too, all grins and charisma, the best friend who dragged Alex out of every teenage heartbreak. He'd taken over the wedding plans like a maestro, promising a day so perfect it'd be the talk of the county. But something was off. Tara kept glancing at her phone, her thumb brushing the screen like she was soothing a nervous tick. "You okay?" Alex asked, his voice soft, the kind of gentle you save for someone you die for. She flashed a smile, too quick, too tight. "Just checking the weather," she said, tucking the phone under her thigh. Across the room, Nate was nowhere to be seen. "Vendor issues," his sister muttered when Alex asked, waving a hand like it was nothing. But Alex felt it, a prickle at the back of his neck, the kind you get when the air shifts before a storm. He didn't want to snoop. Alex wasn't that guy. He was the steady one, 27, an IT consultant who fixed servers and cracked bad jokes, the guy who'd spent months saving for Tara's ring. But that prickle wouldn't quit. So, while Aunt Linda droned on about her famous potato salad, he pulled out his phone and opened the wedding's Google Calendar, Nate's brainchild, a shared lifeline for vendors, caterers, the whole circus. There it was, slotted at 9 p.m., venue walkthrough, Tara/Nate. Except the venue, Willow Barn, had locked its doors at 6. Alex had seen the owner, Old Man Pritchard, drive off in his rusted Chevy hours ago. His stomach twisted, a slow churn like bad gas station sushi. He glanced at Tara, still fidgeting, her eyes darting to the door. "Be right back," he mumbled, slipping outside into the crisp October air. The parking lot was a sea of pickup trucks and minivans, the gravel glowing under a harvest moon. He opened Tara's iCloud on his phone. He'd set it up for her years ago, back when she couldn't figure out her backups. Her password? Their anniversary, 0418. He hadn't checked it in forever. Why would he? He trusted her. But there they were, texts, photos, a digital dagger straight to the gut. "Miss you already," Nate had written at 8:47 p.m., followed by a selfie of him shirtless in a motel room, that cocky grin Alex knew too well. Tara's reply: "Wish I was there now." A photo popped up next, her in a lacy black top Alex had never seen, leaning against a headboard with tacky floral sheets. Timestamp: 8:52 p.m. tonight. Another text from last month: "He's gone for that conference, come over?" Nate's response: "On my way, babe." Months. This wasn't a slip-up, it was a whole damn affair, laid out in pixels and timestamps, mocking him from the screen. Alex's breath hitched, the cold air stinging his lungs. He could have marched back in, flipped the table, let the whole barn know what they'd done. But that's not Alex. He's not the guy who screams. He's the guy who fixes things. So he scrolled, his jaw tight, until he hit X, old habits from late-night doom scrolling. That's when he saw it. A post from at Willow Creek bartender, some local nobody with 47 followers. Slow night at Dusty's, except for these two lovebirds, it read, with a blurry photo of Nate and Tara at a dive bar booth, her hand on his thigh. Timestamp, 2 weeks ago, when Alex was in Raleigh for a server crash. Not a one-off. A pattern. He slid the phone into his pocket, the weight of it like a loaded gun. Back inside, the dinner was winding down, cousins stacking plates, Tara laughing too loud at something his uncle said. She caught his eye, tilted her head. "You good?" she asked, all innocence. He nodded, slow and deliberate, the kind of nod that hides a volcano. "Yeah," he said, voice steady as steel. "Just needed air." Nate breezed back and then, clapping Alex on the shoulder. "All set with the florist, man. Tomorrow's gonna be epic." His grin was a spotlight, blinding and fake. Alex forced a smile, his mind racing, every word, every touch, a lie they'd rehearsed. Now, here he is at the truck stop, the hum of the highway a dull roar in his ears. The laptop screen glows blue, his fingers dancing over the keys as he spills it all, every detail, every cut. He's not crying. He's not raging. He's plotting. The diner's lone waitress shuffles by, her apron stained with ketchup, oblivious to the war brewing in booth 3. Alex leans back, the vinyl seat creaking under him, and types faster. The iCloud haul's still open, texts, photos, a treasure trove of betrayal. That ex-post burns in his memory, a neon sign screaming they don't care. He could call her now, hear her stammer through excuses. He could text Nate, watch him squirm. But no, Alex doesn't do loud. He does lethal. Quietly lethal. His thumb hovers over the keyboard, the cursor blinking like a heartbeat. "I've got their secrets in my hands now," and he stops, mid-sentence, the silence stretching out like a wire-pulled taut. What's he planning? Why is he so calm? You can almost hear the gears turning, the slow grind of a mind that's done being played. Outside, a semi roars past, headlights slicing through the dark. Alex shuts the laptop, the snap of it loud in the stillness. The coffee's cold now, but he doesn't care. He's got work to do, work they'll never see coming. And you? You're strapped in, heart pounding, wondering how this guy, this regular dude with a pickup and a broken heart, turns the tables. Stick around. This is just the crack. The whole damn facade is about to shatter. Imagine the scene. It's 3 a.m., the witching hour, and the world's gone quiet except for the low buzz of a truck stop diner off Route 17. The neon sign flickers open 24/7, casting a sickly green glow over the parking lot where Alex's beat-up Ford sits, its engine still ticking from the drive. Inside the cab, he's a silhouette against the laptop's cold light, his breath fogging in the October chill. "I didn't yell," he types, the words spilling out like a man confessing to a priest who's already asleep. "I didn't call her. I texted emergency postponement to the wedding party at 3 a.m. and started digging. Nate's not just a backstabber, he's sloppy. And I'm about to prove it. Let's pull back the curtain on what got him here." After that bombshell at the rehearsal dinner, the iCloud texts, the dive bar ex-post, Alex didn't storm back into the Pinewood barn with fists flying. That's not his style. He's the guy who once spent 6 hours untangling a server meltdown while his coworkers panicked, the guy who'd rather fix a mess than make one. So, instead of waking the whole town with a showdown, he slipped out of the barn like a ghost, past the fairy lights and the clinking glasses, and drove straight to this nowhere pit stop. The wedding? Done. He fired off a group text to the bridesmaids, groomsmen, and nosy aunts, emergency postponement, family issue. We'll update soon. No details, no drama, just enough to buy him time. Now, he's hunkered down, the diner's lone waitress shuffling past with a yawn, her sneakers squeaking on the linoleum. The coffee's gone cold in its styrofoam cup, but Alex doesn't notice. His world shrunk to the 15-inch screen in front of him, a battlefield where he's about to wage war. First stop, Nate's PayPal. That slick event organizer had insisted on handling all the wedding cash, vendors, deposits, the works. "You focus on Tara, man," he'd said back in July, clapping Alex on the shoulder with that $1 million smile. "I've got this." Alex had trusted him, Why wouldn't he? Nate was the guy who'd talked him through his first breakup, the one who'd crashed on his couch during college finals. But trust is a fragile thing, and Nate's fingerprints are all over its wreckage. Alex logs into the wedding's shared PayPal. Nate had given him the password months ago, back when transparency was still a thing. There they are, payments to Tara, dozens of them, labeled decor supplies or florist deposit. $50 here, $100 there, stretching back to June. Except Alex knows the florist, Mrs. Hargrove from down by the creek, only takes cash or check. He cross-checks Tara's email trash, still synced to his iCloud access, and finds the real story. Motel receipts from the Shady Pines Inn, a dive 20 miles out of town. $50 for a night in June. $100 for a weekend in August. Dates that line up with his work trips, his late nights, his trust. Nate wasn't just sleeping with Tara, he was bankrolling it with Alex's own wedding fund. The air in the cab gets heavier, like the weight of every lie sinking into his bones. But Alex doesn't flinch. He keeps digging, his IT brain kicking into overdrive. Nate's got a side hustle. Every event planner in Willow Creek knows he's the guy to call for a last-minute gig. Alex pulls up Nate's slick website, all glossy photos and 5-star reviews, and digs into the back end. Sloppy doesn't even begin to cover it. Nate's been skimming deposits, double-booking vendors, pocketing the difference. A caterer's invoice from July shows $500 paid up front. The PayPal log shows Nate only sent $300. The rest? Funneled to Tara, or maybe that new leather jacket he'd bragged about last month. Then there's Tara. Sweet Tara, who'd cried when he proposed under the willow tree by the river, who'd sworn she'd never hurt him. She works at Miller's General Store, ringing up canned goods and fishing lures for the locals. Alex hacks into her work email, child's play for a guy who's cracked corporate firewalls for fun. Her cash drawer's been light for months, little dips here and there, $20, $30, always covered by miscellaneous sales. Except the timestamps match those motel stays, those girls' nights she'd laughed off when he'd asked. She's been stealing, pocketing petty cash to fund her secret life with Nate. Outside, a semi rumbles by, its horn cutting through the night like a warning. Alex leans back, the seat creaking under him, and pulls up X. He's not one for grand gestures, but he types anyway. Trust is a funny thing. So are paper trails. He hits post, the words hanging in the digital ether like a flare shot into the dark. Willow Creek's gossips will see it by morning. His mom, his cousins, maybe even Nate's sister. Let them wonder. He's not here to explain, he's here to dismantle. His phone buzzes then, the screen lighting up with Tara's name. Where are you? What's wrong? Her voice crackles through the voicemail, all syrupy concern laced with panic. He lets it play, her words bouncing off the dashboard like hail on tin. Alex, call me back. I'm worried. Worried? He almost laughs, a dry, hollow sound that doesn't reach his eyes. He screenshots the call log, the voicemail, more ammo for whatever's coming. She's texting now, too. Babe, what's going on? Talk to me. He watches the messages stack up, each one a brick in the wall she doesn't know she's building around herself. The diner's clock ticks toward 4 a.m., the sky outside still ink black, stars swallowed by clouds. Alex's fingers dance over the keys, pulling files, cross-referencing dates, building a dossier that'd make a detective jealous. Nate's sloppiness is a goldmine. Every email, every payment, a thread he's tugging to unravel their perfect little lie. Tara's theft? That's the cherry on top, a slow bleed he'll turn into a flood. He's not broken, not anymore. The guy who left the rehearsal dinner with a shattered heart? Gone. This Alex is a strategist, a shadow moving pieces they can't see. He pauses, the cursor blinking like a heartbeat on the screen. They think I'm broken, he types, the words sharp as a blade. They don't know I'm building a bomb. And then he stops, mid-thought, the silence stretching out like a fuse sizzling toward its end. A bomb. What kind? You can feel it, the tension coiling tight, the promise of something explosive just out of reach. He's not running to Tara's doorstep with tears. He's not punching Nate's smug face. He's sitting here, in the dead of night, with a laptop and a plan, and that's scarier than any shouting match. The waitress shuffles by again, her shadow flicking across the window. You good, hon? She calls, voice raspy from too many cigarettes. Alex nods, a tight jerk of his head, and she moves on, oblivious to the war brewing in his hands. He shuts the laptop, the click loud in the stillness, and stares out at the highway. The coffee's a sludge at the bottom of the cup now, but he doesn't care. He's got their secrets: Nate's greed, Tara's betrayal, locked and loaded. They're sleeping sound tonight, tangled in each other's arms, thinking they've won. They're wrong. Dawn's coming, and with it, the storm. Alex isn't just digging, he's laying traps. And you? You're hooked, leaning closer, wondering how this quiet guy with a pickup and a broken trust turns the tables. The fuse is lit. All you can do is wait for the boom. 48 hours since the world cracked open for Alex, and the air in Willow Creek is buzzing, not with wedding bells, but with whispers. The town's still reeling from that cryptic 3 a.m. text. Emergency postponement. Tongues are wagging at the gas station, the diner, the church pews. But Alex? He's not explaining. He's not crying into his beer. He's sitting in his pickup outside the truck stop, the same one where he typed his war cry 2 nights ago, and he's grinning, just a little. It's been 48 hours since I caught them. He taps into his laptop, the keys clicking like a countdown. Nate's first client just canceled. Tara's begging over text. They're clueless. HR's about to get a wake-up call. Let's rewind to Friday night, after Alex lit that fuse in the diner's glow. He didn't sleep. Couldn't. Not with their betrayal burning holes in his skull. Instead, he worked. Nate's sloppy empire was first on the chopping block. That caterer, Lila's Kitchen, the one Nate swore would make the wedding cake a legend, got an anonymous email at dawn Saturday. No name, no fuss, just a zip file labeled vendor concerns. Inside, screenshots of Nate's double-booked gigs, Lila's invoice for Alex's wedding clashing with a corporate picnic he'd pocketed $800 for the same day. Proof he'd sent half payments and kept the rest. By noon, Lila was on the phone with Nate, her voice sharp enough to slice through his excuses. "We're done," she snapped and hung up. Word spread fast. 2 more clients, a florist and a DJ, saw the same file, forwarded by Lila's furious hands. By Sunday morning, lawsuits were brewing, and Nate's phone was a hotline of panic. Tara wasn't safe either. Alex had her number, literally and figuratively. That petty cash she'd been siphoning from Miller's General Store? He'd tracked it like a bloodhound. Saturday afternoon, he fired off another tip, this one to Tara's manager, Mr. Grady, a grizzled old-timer who'd once banned Alex's cousin for shoplifting gum. "Check your inventory logs," the email read, and signed but loaded with screenshots. Cash drawer shortages synced to motel receipts. Dates Tara had worked late. Grady didn't mess around. By Sunday, an audit was underway, the store's ancient computer humming as it spat out her guild in black and white. Tara didn't know yet, but the noose was tightening. Back in the pickup, Alex scrolls through his phone, the screen lighting up his tired eyes. Tara's texts have been piling up since Friday, first worried, then frantic. "Babe, please answer. Saturday at 10 a.m. I'm freaking out. Where are you?" Saturday night. "Alex, I love you. Just tell me what's wrong, 2 a.m. today." He doesn't reply, just screenshots each one, filing them away like bullets in a clip. Meanwhile, that ex-post, "Trust is a funny thing. So our paper trails," is spreading like wildfire through Willow Creek. His cousin retweeted it. His mom asked at breakfast, "What's this about, hon?" Tara's sister saw it too, texting her, "What did you do?" The town's a pressure cooker now, and Alex is turning up the heat. Nate's feeling it. That smug grin, the one he'd flashed at the rehearsal dinner, all teeth and charm, is cracking. Vendors are blacklisting him. His precious website's inbox is flooded with cancellations. Saturday night, he tried calling Alex 3 times, straight to voicemail. "Hey, man, what's with the text? Everything cool?" His voice was too smooth, too rehearsed. Alex didn't bite. He just watched the dominoes fall, one by one, from the sidelines. Nate's sister posted on Facebook, "Anyone know a good lawyer?" The town's gossips were eating it up, and Tara's family, pillars of Willow Creek respectability, were starting to squirm. Her dad cornered Alex's uncle at the hardware store. "What's this postponement nonsense?" No answers yet. But the questions? They're piling up like storm clouds. Sunday afternoon, Alex steps out of the pickup for air and coffee. He's been living on fumes, his flannel rumpled, his stubble creeping in. The truck stop diner's quiet now, just a couple of truckers nursing eggs and hash browns. That's when he meets Sam. She's behind the counter, all sharp jawline and sharper wit, pouring coffee like it's an art form. Her name tag's crooked, her apron smeared with grease, but her eyes catch his, dark, curious, unbothered by the chaos he's carrying. Rough weekend? She asks, sliding a mug his way. He shrugs, deadpan as ever. Dodged a bullet, I guess. She snorts, a real laugh, not the polite kind, and it's the first sound in days that doesn't feel like a lie. Good aim, she quips, and goes back to wiping the counter. It's nothing big, not yet, but it's a spark, something clean in the mess. Back in the truck, the real fireworks start. Tara shows up at his place, his little rental on Maple Street, the one with the sagging porch and the mailbox she'd painted blue last spring. He's not there, but his Ring doorbell is, recording every second. She's a mess, hair wild, mascara streaking, pounding on the door like it owes her answers. Alex, I know you're in there, she yells, voice cracking. Nate manipulated me, okay? It was one stupid mistake, I swear. The lie's so thin you could poke holes in it with a straw. Her phone pings mid-rant. Nate's name flashes on the screen. A text, call me, we need to figure this out. She glances at it, hesitates, then keeps banging. Please, Alex, I love you. He watches the footage later, parked back at the truck stop, the grainy video playing on his phone. That ping? Gold. She's still texting Nate, still tangled in his web, even as she begs for forgiveness. Alex doesn't flinch, he hits record, saves the clip, adds it to his growing arsenal. Tara thinks she's playing him, but he's 3 steps ahead. The audit's coming for her job. Nate's empire's crumbling. And HR? Oh, they're next. Tara's store has a strict policy. Petty theft means a call to corporate, and Alex knows Grady's already dialing. Nate's vendor scams. He's got a hunch some of those payments crossed into his day job's accounts. Another tip he's prepping to drop. The sun dips low now, painting the sky orange over the highway. Alex leans back in the driver's seat, the vinyl groaning under him. Sam's laugh echoes in his head, a lifeline he didn't expect. But it's Tara's voice on that doorbell clip that fuels him, her desperation a match to his resolve. He opens his laptop again, the screen flaring to life, and types. She's still texting him. Good. I've got more in the chamber. He stops there, the words hanging like smoke after a gunshot. More in the chamber? What's he holding back? You can feel it. The storm's not just brewing, it's breaking. Outside, a crow caws from a power line, its shadow slicing through the dusk. The truckers shuffle out, their boots kicking gravel, oblivious to the war Alex is waging. He shuts the laptop, the click sharp in the quiet, and stares at the horizon. Nate's sweating now, Tara's scrambling, and the town's watching. The dominoes are falling, fast, hard, one after another, and Alex is the one who pushed the first. But he's not done. That wake-up call he's hinting at? It's coming, and it's going to hit like a freight train. You're in deep now, hooked on the edge of your seat. Alex isn't just surviving, he's rewriting the game. Tara's tears, Nate's panic, their fuel. And Sam? She's a flicker of something new. But the real question burns. What's next? The chamber's loaded, and Alex is ready to fire. Stick around. The crash is just getting started. Imagine a Monday morning in Willow Creek, the kind where the frost still clings to the grass and the town's waking up slow. But for Alex, it's anything but sleepy. He's parked at the edge of town, his pickup tucked behind the old grain silo, sipping coffee that's more grit than comfort. The laptop's open again, glowing like a beacon in the dawn, and his fingers dance over the keys with a rhythm that's almost smug. Nate's car got repoed this morning, he types, the words sharp as a blade cutting through the quiet. Tara's on leave pending review. All I did was push the first card, they knocked the rest down themselves. Let's roll back to the weekend, because this collapse didn't happen in a vacuum. It's been building, brick by crumbling brick. Nate's empire, that shiny event planning gig he'd built on charm and lies, is imploding faster than a house of cards in a windstorm. Those lawsuits from the caterer, the florist, the DJ, they're not just threats anymore. By Saturday night, the florist, Mrs. Hargrove, the one who'd sniffed at Nate's late payments, filed for $1,200 in small claims court. The DJ followed Sunday, demanding $800 plus damages for a gig Nate had double booked and botched. Word's out now, vendors are cutting ties, blacklisting him from every wedding, quinceañera, and corporate picnic within 50 miles. His phone's a ghost town, his inbox a graveyard of contract-terminated emails. Monday morning seals it. Nate's prized possession, that cherry-red Mustang he'd bragged about paying off, gets hooked by a tow truck right outside his apartment on Oak Street. TikTok catches the whole mess. Nate in sweatpants and a stained tee, yelling at the driver, "You can't take my car, man. I'll sue." The driver just shrugs, chains rattling, while a kid with a phone cackles, "Repo guy 1, douchebag 0. The video's at 10K views by noon, tagged #Willow Creek drama. Alex sees it from his silo perch, a flicker of something satisfaction, maybe, crossing his face. He didn't repo the car. He didn't have to. Nate's missed payments did that all on their own. Tara's not faring better. That audit at Miller's General Store? It hit pay dirt Sunday night. Mr. Grady, hunched over his clunky desktop, found the pattern Alex had flagged. $20 here, $30 there, siphoned from the cash drawer over months. The totals aren't huge, $400, maybe $500, but in a town like this, theft's a scarlet letter. By Monday, Tara's on administrative leave pending review, which is Grady speak for "you're toast." Corporate's involved now, and the whispers are spreading. Tara's mom, deaconess at First Baptist, gets wind of it at the grocery store, some busybody hissing, "Heard your girl's in trouble." By lunchtime, her parents cut her off cold, no more rent help, no more Sunday dinners. That ex-post Alex dropped, "Trust is a funny thing." So our paper trails is gospel now, fueling the gossip mill. Tara's a pariah, and she doesn't even see the half of it yet. Alex watches it unfold from afar, his pickup a silent command post. He's not gloating, not out loud, but there's a gleam in his eye, a hunter tracking wounded prey. Nate and Tara, though, they're not done digging their hole. Monday afternoon, they drop a vlog, some desperate Hail Mary titled, "Our Truth, the Real Story." It's a train wreck from the jump. Nate's in a wrinkled button-down, hair greasy, claiming, "We've been targeted by jealousy." Tara's beside him, eyes puffy, nodding like a bobblehead. "Alex twisted everything. He's the villain here." They spin a tale of one mistake and misunderstandings, begging for sympathy. The comments don't buy it. Thieves and cheaters, LOL, and nice try, losers. Views climb, but it's all hate watch fuel. Enter Sam. She's not just the barista with the quick laugh anymore. She's Alex's girl now, 2 weeks into something real. They're at the truck stop diner Monday night, splitting a plate of fries, when she scrolls X and snorts. "These clowns think they're victims," she says, her voice all gravel and mischief. Alex shrugs, dipping a fry in ketchup. Let him talk. But Sam's not letting it slide. She's been digging, her own little side project, since Alex told her the story over coffee last week. She pulls up Venmo on her phone, that app Nate and Tara thought was their secret playground. There it is, buried in July's transactions, a memo from Nate to Tara, $200, labeled, "For the ring he'll never see." Sam's eyes light up like a kid with a firecracker. "They were gonna split your savings, weren't they?" she says, already typing. Alex leans over, sees it, and for the first time in days, he laughs, a real, gut-deep sound. Sam's X thread goes live at 8 p.m. Cheaters caught red-handed. Check this Venmo. For the ring he'll never see. Guess who's the real scam? She attaches the screenshot, tags the vlog, and hits send. It's viral by 9. Retweets from Willow Creek locals, then strangers, then industry folks who'd blacklisted Nate. The vlog's comments explode. Ring? Ring? They're disgusting. And karma's receipts don't lie. Nate and Tara's truth crumbles under the weight of their own greed, and Sam just smirks, stealing a fry from Alex's plate. "Told you I'm good at this," she says. Tuesday night, the fallout's in full swing. Alex is back at the diner, Sam beside him, her sneakers tapping the floor to some unheard beat. His phone buzzes, Nate, drunk and sloppy, texting at 1 a.m., "You ruined me. My car, my job, everything. You did this." The words are a slur, a man unraveling at the seams. Alex doesn't flinch. He pulls up a screenshot from months ago, a text Nate sent postbar. "She picked me. Man, sorry you're too boring." He fires it back with 4 words. "Guess she didn't." No rant, no venom, just a dagger of truth. Nate doesn't reply. The silence says he's drowning in it. The diner's quiet now, just the hum of the fridge and the clink of Sam's mug as she refills it. Alex shuts the laptop, the screen fading to black, and types one last line. Calm as a mirror. They're just seeing themselves now. He stops, letting it hang there, heavy and final. You can hear it, the crash of their house of cards, the echo of every lie they stacked too high. Nate's arguing with tow trucks, Tara's pleading with a family that's done with her, and that vlog? It's a punchline now, mocked from here to the county line. Sam's thread, her little gift to Alex, lit the match, but they handed him the gasoline years ago. Outside, the moon's high, casting shadows over the gravel lot. A trucker shuffles out, his boots crunching, oblivious to the wreckage Alex has orchestrated. Nate's Mustang is gone, Tara's job is dust, and their truth is a laughingstock. Alex leans back, the seat creaking, and takes a sip of coffee, cold, bitter, perfect. Sam nudges him, her grin crooked. You're scary when you're quiet, she says. He just nods, a flicker of something new in his eyes. Not vengeance, not anymore, but peace. And you? You're cheering, fist pumping the air, because this is it, the big payoff. Nate and Tara built their castle on sand, and Alex didn't even have to swing the wrecking ball. They did it themselves, every greedy grab, every smug lie. Sam's assist? That's the cherry on top, a twist of irony that stings just right. But that mirror line, it's chilling. What do they see now? Themselves, stripped bare, and it's ugly. The dominoes are down, the cards are scattered, and Alex? He's still standing. Picture this, a chilly Wednesday evening in Willow Creek, the kind where the street lights buzz and the air smells faintly of wood smoke. It's been weeks since the house of cards came crashing down, and Alex is driving through town, his pickup humming along Main Street. Beside him is Sam, his Sam now, her sneakers propped on the dash, a takeout bag from Rusty's Grill steaming between them. They're official, a quiet thing that's grown roots in late-night fries and her sarcastic quips. He's got the laptop stashed in the back, but tonight, it's off-duty. Last night, he types later, the words spilling out like a victory lap. I saw Nate in a strip mall dumpster uniform. Tara tried one last apology at the worst possible time. Life's funny like that. Let's set the scene. Rusty's is a hole-in-the-wall joint. Greasy burgers, neon beer signs, the kind of place where locals trade stories over chipped mugs. Alex and Sam slide into a booth by the window, the vinyl squeaking under them. She's in a faded hoodie, her dark hair tucked behind one ear, grinning as she steals his fries before he's even unwrapped the foil. You owe me for that X-thread, she teases, her voice all gravel and warmth. He smirks, first real smile in weeks, and tosses her an extra ketchup packet. Paid in full, he says, and she laughs, loud enough to turn heads. It's easy, this thing they've got, a bomb after the storm. Then the door jingles, and in shuffles Nate. Not the Nate of old, cocky, leather-jacketed, Mustang-driving Nate. This Nate's a shadow, hollow cheeks, greasy hair shoved under a faded cap, a stained green vest screaming plaza maintenance. He's hauling trash bags from the strip mall out back, dumpster duty, the bottom rung of Willow Creek's ladder. His eyes dart at Alex, then away, fast, like a kid caught sneaking cookies. Alex doesn't flinch, just takes a bite of his burger, the grease dripping down his chin. Sam notices, leans in. That him, she whispers, her tone half curious, half amused. Alex nods, slow and deliberate. Rock bottom looks good on him, he mutters, and she snorts, nearly choking on her Coke. Nate keeps his head down, dragging bags to the curb, his boots scuffing the pavement. He's been off the radar since the vlog flopped, since the lawsuits, the repo, the Venmo bombshell Sam dropped like a mic word as he's crashing at his cousin's trailer, begging for shifts at the plaza after every event gig dried up. Alex doesn't stare, doesn't gloat. He just watches, quiet, letting the irony sink in. The guy who swore he'd make Alex's wedding unforgettable is picking up burger wrappers in a parking lot. Life's got a wicked sense of humor. The door jingles again, and here comes Tara, wild-eyed, coat misbuttoned, like she's been running on fumes. She spots Sam first, freezes mid-step, then zeroes in on Alex. You, she screeches, voice cutting through the diner's hum like a siren. Heads turn, truckers, teens, old man Jenkins with his onion rings. He's a liar. Tara jabs a finger at Alex, her nails chipped, her face flushed. He ruined everything, twisted at all. Sam raises an eyebrow, cool as ice, and slides her phone out, hitting record with a flick of her thumb. Alex leans back, arms crossed, letting Tara dig her grave. He's a manipulator. Tara rants, pacing now, her boots thudding on the tile. Nate's consulting again. He's got big plans, and Alex sabotaged him out of spite. The delusion's thick. You can almost taste it. Consulting? Nate's hauling trash 10 feet away, but Tara's clinging to a fantasy where he's still the golden boy. Sam stifles a laugh, her phone steady, catching every word. "Lady, your man's sweeping cigarette butts," she says, loud enough for the back booth to snicker. Tara whirls on her, eyes blazing. "Who are you?" "His new toy." She lunges for the phone, but Sam's quicker, yanking it back with a grin. "Nice try," she quips and keeps filming. That's when Rusty, the manager, a bear of a guy with a beard like steel wool, steps in. "Out," he growls, pointing Tara to the door. "No scenes tonight." She sputters, but Rusty cuts her off. "Now." She stomps out, cursing, but not before Nate slips around the corner, caught sneaking off to meet her, his trash bags abandoned. Rusty sees it, shakes his head. "You're done too, kid," he barks through the window. Nate's fired, again, his vest fluttering to the ground as he slinks after Tara. The diner erupts in whispers, forks clinking, phones pinging with the latest gossip. Alex and Sam finish their fries, unfazed. He's got news of his own, a promotion at work, senior IT lead, tasked with rewriting the sloppy code Nate left behind from a freelance gig last year. "Karma's thorough," he says, wiping his hands. Sam nods, stealing his last fry. "You're thorough. I just light the fuse." They're a team now, her chaos to his calm, and it fits like a glove. Outside, Tara's meltdown loops on Sam's phone, a viral clip in the making, #Willow Creek Meltdown trending by midnight. Later that night, Alex's phone lights up, a flood of drunk texts from Tara at 2 a.m. "I gave up everything for him," she wails, the words slurring across the screen. "My family, my job, he was worth it." Another, "You ruined us both." A third, "He's got nothing now, and it's your fault." Alex shows Sam, sprawled on his couch with a beer, the TV flickering some old sci-fi flick. She reads them, cackling. "She picked the wrong team," she says, tossing the phone back. "Dumpster boy's not exactly a prize." Alex smirks, a quiet sound that says more than words. He doesn't reply to Tara. Why bother? She's screaming into the void, and he's already moved on. The next morning, the dust settles. Nate's gone quiet, last seen hauling boxes from his cousin's trailer, headed who knows where. Tara's banned from Rusty's, her meltdown a town legend, her family still icing her out. Alex clocks in at work, his new office overlooking the river, the promotion a clean slate. He's rewriting Nate's messes. Lines of code tangled like the lies Nate spun, and it feels right, like purging the last of them from his life. Sam texts him a meme of a dumpster fire, "Your ex's vibe." He laughs, the sound bouncing off the walls, and gets to work. Back at the pickup that night, Alex types his final entry, the laptops glow a soft halo. "I didn't destroy them," he writes, the words steady, "Sure. They handed me the match." He shuts it down, the screen fading to black, and leans back, the seat creaking under him. Outside, the town hums, crickets, headlights, the river's distant rush. Nate's in the gutter, Tara's a ghost of her old self, and Alex? He's thriving, Sam at his side, a new chapter unfolding. You're sitting there, grinning, because this is justice, poetic, brutal, perfect. Nate's dumpster uniform, Tara's banshee wail, they're the punchline to a joke they wrote themselves. Sam's quip, her steady hand on that phone, seals Alex's win. He didn't burn them down, he just lit the spark, and they torched their own lives. The final twist? It's not revenge, it's rebirth. Alex is free, stronger, with Sam's laugh in his ear and a promotion in his pocket. The match is out, the smoke's cleared, and you're satisfied, nodding along. Life's funny like that, and Alex? He's laughing last. And that's the story of Alex, Sam, and the house of cards that never stood a chance. Did Nate and Tara get what they deserved? Could Alex have gone harder, or was his quiet karma the perfect play? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'm reading every single one. If you loved this ride, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss the next tale of betrayal, revenge, and sweet, Sweet justice. Until then, keep your receipts, folks. Life's got a way of cashing them in. See you soon in our next story.